Hey, it's Steve at Clear Choice One-Owned Home Solutions. So I thought I'd shoot a quick video here and talk a little bit about the differences in windows, because windows are a lot like car tires. They all look the same, but they definitely don't all perform the same. So a couple things we'll start off with right away is the glass on windows. You're going to find a lot of companies out there, they basically use half-inch spacers, 5/8" spacers, so you end up with a smaller space between your glass package, which allows for actually less argon gas to be put in between those panes of glass, which makes your windows colder in the winter and warmer in the summer. Believe it or not, there's still some companies out there that aren't even putting argon gas in their windows, which boggles my mind every day, but believe it or not, we still see it once in a while. So again, you're going to find with all of our glass packages, all of our glass packages are going to be 7/8 of an inch, 1 inch thick, even 1.25 inches thick. So again, it's going to allow for more argon gas to be put in there and keep those windows a lot warmer for you. Speaking of also hollow, you're going to find basically there's still a lot of companies out there that use a hollow frame construction or hollow sashes. And they use the analogy, well, you know, you have a dead air space and that acts as your insulator, which a dead air space will give you a tiny amount of insulation, but at the end of the day, you know, dead air space is basically just like your old drafty windows you have now with a dead air space in between them. They insulate a little bit, but not a whole lot. So you're going to find with our windows, everything we sell has foam filling in the frames, foam filling in the sashes. So again, what that's going to do is give you a lot warmer of a window frame. You don't have that dead air space like they say. It's basically, you're talking foamed in these frames, which will give you R values all the way up to R20 sometimes on the thicker points of the frame. So I would much rather have an R20 frame than a dead air space chamber that probably gives you an R value of maybe 2 or 3. Also talking about windows, air infiltration, which is another big important thing of a window, because at the end of the day, you can have the best glass package out there. If that window leaks like a sieve, kind of defeats the purpose of a window. So what you're going to find is a lot of manufacturers maybe meet industry minimum standards, which basically means if you have a 2 foot by 3 foot window, industry standard means this box, this 1 foot square box, is going to fill up with air every minute. Or you can get into a window like what we sell, where every minute this red line is basically what you're having for air leakage in a window. So again, very important features of windows to look for: what kind of glass has it got? What kind of air infiltration rating does it have? Does it have foam-filled frames, foam-filled sashes, stuff like that? Another thing that's very important in the window is a reinforcement in the locks. This is what we call a composite reinforcement. This actually goes into where the windows meet here in the middle. And what that does basically is a couple things. It gives that window extra reinforcement, so when you have triple pane glass, it keeps that window from smiling at you. If you've ever seen windows that kind of smile at you from the outside, that's because all that weight is sitting on that vinyl, and it's not very thick vinyl. All of our windows are using thicker vinyl, plus they're putting these composite reinforcements in it. So this is as strong as metal, but it doesn't conduct the cold like metal, and it also gives these locks something to screw into. So it gives you an extra security. Somebody can't just walk up, jimmy your sash from the outside of the pry bar and pop the screws out of the lock, because again, these are screwed right into that composite reinforcement. So now, just as important as all the features of the window is actually the installation itself. Now, you're going to find a lot of companies out there, all they do are pocket replacements, where they're basically removing the old sashes, putting a new window into that existing frame that you already have in there, and then you're shrinking your window space up. You run into sometimes egress issues, and also the thing you're going to run into a lot with just pocket-only installation is you're not seeing if there's any problems going on underneath. Now, what we've been finding typically, houses built after the 80s, or starting in the 80s on to today, we're starting to see a lot more rot, because a lot of these windows aren't sealed up properly on the outside. They're relying too much on wind barriers, Tyvek, stuff like that to keep the water out. It just doesn't do that. So we're starting to see probably 20-25% of the houses we get to have some rotted sills. They have some plywood on the outside that's rotted. And by removing everything around the window like we do with our Weather Guardian installation system, you know, we also do pockets, but when we get into a full replacement with our Weather Guardian installation system that we do exclusively here, we're removing everything around that window. So we're exposing that wood. We're taking the vinyl siding off around that window to make sure that if you do have some rot, anything like that going on, that we can get in there and replace that wood, because, you know, basically you're just putting a Band-Aid over your house if you're not checking that wood out. So again, by inspecting the wood, inspecting the sills, making sure everything's good, you know, when you get that new window put in, you're good to go for the rest of the years that you're living in that home. You don't have to worry about, okay, was that window stuck in over a rotted sill, or was there rotted plywood on the outside? And believe me, we see it a lot. So, you know, the next thing I like to talk to about it with windows is the warranty. Everything we sell has a lifetime manufacturer warranty. Most of our manufacturers also offer a lifetime glass breakage warranty. So if your son's out in the front yard and whips a baseball through the glass, that's covered under the warranties. So again, lots of things to really look at when you look at windows. You know, I've got an old saying, is the most expensive window is the window you replace twice. And what I mean by that is basically, you can go out and buy a cheaper window and you're not going to be happy with it. It's going to leak air. You're still going to have the drafts, and then you're going to be regretting spending a little less money than versus spending a little bit more money initially and have a window you only have to put in once. And that's everything that we sell, is a window that you only have to put in your home one time. So that's something we pride ourselves on, is we're not just going to sell a cheap window just to sell a cheap window that you're not going to be happy with. Everything we sell is going to be the highest quality, backed by the manufacturer lifetime warranties, and something that, again, you're going to do once and love from that point on. So if you have questions, by all means, give us a call. Again, before you sign on the dotted line with somebody else, give us a call. I think you're going to find at the end of the day, we offer the best value out there. You know, we might be a little bit more expensive than, you know, your Chuck in the Truck contractor who's throwing in a box store special, if you will. But at the end of the day, you're going to be a lot happier long term, and you're going to feel the comfort in your home as well. So thanks again for watching. Give us a call if you have any questions. Have a great day.